All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to apostles and elders in New York, GMS, and salutations y'all around the world just teaching the truth. My name is Maya Kyle Nagab with Chicago branch of GMS. I'd like to make a disclaimer that we are not black Hebrew Israelites. All right. Black is a color, all right, just like the color is background, all right. Nobody is the color that walk around on earth. All right. We are brown skinned people. All right. We are Israelites or Hebrew Israelites. All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, confusion of faces. All right, that's who we are. The Israelites. Okay, we are not affiliated with any black identity extreme group. All right, so all right, here you go right here, man. About the U.S. How the railroads, man, was built by Jake, man. So-called Negroes. All right, it said U.S. railroads were built with slave labor. That's right, man, because everything, that's how America popping, we the Israelites, man. All right, because in West Africa was popping, man, real heavy. West coast of Africa, Spain, Portugal, France, all that, man. Because of us, man, we're gods. Like I said, Psalms 82:6, man. All right, you are gods. All right. And it's going to be on the popping in the kingdom, man. Esau, he got no salt or anything, man. All right, and he's a culture vulture, man. He's a thief, man. All right, and another thing he don't count for our labors, man, all the accomplishments, man. All right, it said Wisdom Solomon chapter 5 verse 1 said, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face such that afflict the righteous brothers out there teaching on the street corners, man. All right, stand up to Babylon, Esau, so-called white man, his sister, man, and his centurions, man. All right, his policeman, his army. All right, everything. It made no count of his labors, right, man. The so-called white man Esau made no counts of our contributions, man. All right, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, man. All these inventions, everything, man. He had all the history, the icons of Europe and all that stuff, the paintings. He painted all the prophets of the Bible as so-called white men. He lied, said the so-called Negro not intelligent to do this and that, man. When we contribute everything, man, from mathematics to athletics, man. All right, so it's already said U.S. railroads were built with slave labor. All right, so if you remember John Henry, it said John Henry said as captain, you are nothing but a common man. Before the steam drill shall beat me down, I'll die with my hammer in my hand. All right, so John Henry was based his story of Jake. It's a folk tale. All right. So Jake is a god, man. All right. So you look at DC Comics. That's what John what's that guy named Steel. All right. Got the same hammers. John here just souped up a little bit. Got a little Iron Man armor cape, Superman cape, and that got hammer. All right. But it says North America, 4 major rail networks, Norfolk Southern, CSX, Union Pacific, and Canadian National, all on lines were built or operated with slave labor. All right, and it's a funny thing, man. Union Pacific, and you can see it right here, this article. It says, Union Pacific lose lawsuit over racism. He's all had perpetual hatred of you so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, man. Like, even everything you did. All right, that's what we call this man the damn devil. Right, it says Sacramento, California, Union Pacific Railroad must pay $500,000 in damages to a African American labor for racism he endured from white co-workers and bosses during his first 2.5 years with Union Pacific. A Sacramento Superior Court jury has found the plaintiff Thomas Franklin, 42, Sacramento, still works for Union Pacific, but not in his Roseville division where the events prompted his suit against the company occurred. All right. So there you go, man. All right. I'm going to skip down here. It said Franklin, the lone African American. All right. So you're not African American. He's a Judite, Israelite from the tribe of Judah. It said Franklin owned otherwise all white crew. All right. You're not white. Esau, you're red. All right. There's nothing white about you. All right. All right. It says maintained that he was subject to racial slur, racist jokes, and comments, having tools drawn at him and other discriminating treatment. I see that. You know, that's what we call the devil, man. He made no count of labors. But see, he ain't gonna tell you how Jake built those railroads. It says historians say nearly every rail line built of the east of Mississippi River and south of Mason-Dixie line before the Civil War was constructed or run at least partly by slaves. All right. It says Tom Cornrebo, professor of African Studies, Africana Studies at San Diego State University, has documented use of slaves by 94 early rail lines. By his count, 39 now belong to Norfolk Southern, based in Norfolk, Virginia. 36 are owned by CSX of Jacksonville, Florida. 12 are part of the Omaha-based Union Pacific. 7 belong to Canadian National Headquarters in Montreal. It said corporate records of times show railroads bought slaves or leased them from their owners, and that happened too. You know, leased them, man. It's usually for clearing, grading, laying tracks. Enslaved workers frequently in annual report. It's Dana leases like the temp agencies, right? It's damn near the same. It says enslaved worker frequently appear in annual reports as line items, expenses referred as hands, color hands, Negro hires, Negro property, and slaves. See that go with Deuteronomy 28:37. Become a byword, a proverb. It said the presidents of Union Pacific, Memphis, El Paso, and Pacific Railroad wrote to stockholders in 1858 that slaves were the cheapest and main, most reliable, most easy governing labors. All right. Look at that symbol that goes back to Egypt. All right. All right. Revelation 11:8. All right, so it said railroad records contain thousands of lease agreements with slave owners. A single volume of records for Richmond, Fredericksburg, and Pontiac Railroad, now owned by CSF, covering just 2 months in 1850, contained 47 agreements with slave owners. Slaves formed the backbone of the soft railroad labor force of track repairmen, station helpers, brakemen, firemen, sometimes even engine men, wrote University of Pennsylvania historian Walter Lick in a book Working for the Railroad. Norfolk Southern declines to confirm ownership of individual rail lines for the 19th century, but said it owns 8%. 39 identified Cornwall, but it won't comment on whether the lines were built to run with slave labor related question. Now, JJ should be welcome open arms on the railroad company, man. Give them jobs out there, but Esau's the devil. All right, he's not going to do that. All right, he's not gonna turn good all of a sudden like in wrestling. When you get Hulk Hogan, he's NWO, then he gone back to the regular Hulkamania's yellow shirt on and red bandana. All right, but anyway, it says CX say it can verify the names only of a handful of the 19th century rail lines that make up his network. As the basic reparations, we're not going to discuss that. Spokesman Kathy Burton Wright. She don't want to get Jake no, and she's not going to do it. All right, we gonna get our when there's like so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans. When we get our reparations, man, it's gonna be in the kingdom. We had the heathens on our foot, man. All right. It says in a statement, Canadian National said takes very seriously claims that slave labor was used to build some of his early lines. We are actively researching the issue. We invite any party to share with CN any relevant information or documentation. Man, they know it, man. All right. Up in Canada, had Gad in slavery. All right, the so-called Native Americans. All right, it said Union Pacific said it owns 9 of the 12 railroads Cornwall identified UP lines that own the leased slaves. Ownership of the lines today has no reference to how they were built, UP spokesman John says. All right, this is bullshit. It says wanted for year 1830, let's say 1836, if I'm not mistaken. You know, sometimes I can't read it. It's, no, 1856. That's a lot. 50 able-bodied Negro men to lay track on mobile and railroad turns, 180 per annual with good security. All right, you can see it right here. I'm doing it slocked. I think they said 36. I thought they write these, don't know, these little funny ass letters. That's like, yeah, 1836. All right, no, 1856. I was right. It said the mobile of Jura Railroad now owned by Norfolk Southern advertised for slaves in 1856. All right. Corporate records showing time show railroads brought or leased slaves. We had no way of knowing. We have no intention researching that Israel Bromley say, all right, you're a damn devil, man. All right, you may not count our labors, man. All right, but let's already hope Yahweh Shaka make a count of labor and put your asses in slavery, man. So, this is said, Shalom.